Good evening and thanks for staying up late with us tonight for KREM 2 News at 11. I'm Cody Proctor. We're going to kick things off this evening with a look at our weather forecast because we have had a string of very cold days. But that might be changing as we take a peek at the weekend. Meteorologist Thomas Patrick outside in our outdoor weather center. And Thomas, when could we be potentially seeing some of these warmer temperatures move in?
Yeah, it's been actually a slowly rise the last couple days. We just continue that trend. So that means during the daytime hours, especially when we get the sunshine tomorrow, upper 30s, a bit warmer than it was today, but it is still cold out here tonight. But the pattern change comes when our next weather system, an atmospheric river, starts to take aim at the inland northwest. That will bump up our temperatures definitely next week, but it will also come with a lot of chances for precipitation, the first of which could still be snowfall for the region, because we got to get from where we are now, which is still 20 degrees. We're still well below freezing during our nighttime and morning hours, to where we will become next week, which will be close to 50 degrees. So again, that's where we're standing right now. This is how we kick off the weekend. About 10 degrees for the low temperature early tomorrow morning, and then it starts to rise very quickly. Sunshine tomorrow, but before we get to rain chances, not quite warm enough just yet. When we see that first push of precipitation, likely snow, starting on Sunday morning. So we'll show you how this transitions from snow to rain and how much rain overall is in the forecast over the next week.
KREM 2 is following up tonight after a big development yesterday in our ongoing investigation into the Spokane shock. The indoor football team officially has no league to play in and nowhere to play games. We've confirmed the IFL officially kicked the shock out of the league. Team owner Sam Adams then told us he'll try to join a different league like the NAL. But today, the National Arena League told us they would not entertain an application from Adams. All of this follows our extensive investigation here at KREM 2, which unveiled a history of late payments and defaults from the team owner, Sam Adams, to the PFD throughout all of last season. The IFL told us, based on our investigation, it opened up its own internal investigation into the shock in Adams. The organization tweeted out this statement saying, "We felt it necessary to move on from the Spokane market and adjust our schedule accordingly." Today, we also spoke with the director of entertainment at the Spokane Arena. He says the loss of this year's season with the shock is a loss for the entire community.
We were all disappointed with how everything was starting to play out, all the information you guys were pulling out with to the public. We were trying to do whatever we could to make it work. It's just unfortunate the way everything panned out, and especially the fanatics, right? They don't have something to turn to now, and I know they were extremely excited when it was announced back in 2019, and now now they're just kind of left hanging. They don't have anything to go to.
Today, the arena announced it'll start sending out refunds to anyone who bought season tickets or game tickets for the Shock's 2022 season. Any tickets bought through Tickets West will be processed by March 1st. People should see the refund reflected on their credit card statement in about 7 to 10 business days. Also, as part of our investigation, we uncovered a number of former Shock employees who say they're still owed money from their time working for the team. Today, KREM 2's Whitney Ward spoke to a former ticket sales manager who says he was never paid, so he turned to the State Office of Labor and Industries.
I needed a job because the pandemic took mine away, so I was very excited to, have a job at all, and then of all things for it to be back with the Spokane Shock and back in sports. It was a breath of fresh air, at least I thought.
And so you were very surprised then when they called you in and said we're done.
Yeah, I couldn't understand it at all, because the last thing that I had told my boss is I had sold out all of the tickets that I had that he had given me.
What was the reason they gave you?
The reason that he had given me is that he was upset that he had to, roll over at 4 in the morning and see a text that I had sent him 11 the night before telling him that I had sold out, because that day he was going fishing and he didn't like that, irritated his fishing trip. But either way, they didn't end up paying me at the end of it, and that just became a nightmare.
So then you went to L&I as an effort to try to get your money back. What happened?
Yeah, they laid a judgment and said that he has to pay me $1,200 in restitution plus interest, which I still have yet to receive that money. And they also, the Spokane Shock, Sam Adams, got a $2,000 fine on top of that. Mm-hmm. So he could have just paid me $1,200, but now he's got $1,200 plus interest plus a fine. and I still have yet to get it.
When did you decide that you had to take the next step and go to LNI?
I mean, I had an email chain where at one point, you know, I laid it out for him because he just asked me on a phone call, like, look, just put it in an email, what do I owe you, and I'll get it to you. So I put it in an email saying, hey, waiving the commission, 2 weeks, $1,200, that's it. And he responded saying, I bet. Another week went by, I didn't hear anything, I didn't see anything, so then I was like, that's it. And now they don't even have a season to bring in money. And man, I would have loved for everything to go right and be selling Spokane Shock tickets right now.
Now, if you would like to see our full Creme 2 investigation into the Spokane Shock, just text the word shock to 509-448-2000. We'll send you our investigations right to your phone. New tonight, a Spokane mental health counselor is paying over $138,000 to resolve allegations his company fraudulently billed Washington State Medicaid. The U.S. Attorney's Office says Ray Smith employed several mental health treatment providers at his company, a brief counseling center, and billed Medicaid to cover their services. Those providers turned out to be unlicensed and unqualified. Now to Night Beat with a quick look at the day's top stories. A WSU athlete from Ukraine is watching our hometown turn to ash from Pullman.
We have a big basement, and where they're able to take like people there. There's like more than like 40 people right now.
Katerina Maestrenko is on the rowing team at Washington State University. She's living across the world from her family, who live in the heart of Kyiv. Coming up in about 5 minutes, we'll share the latest on the conflict in Ukraine and how Katerina's family is doing.
The potential significant impacts from fines and violations could financially cripple our school district for many years to come.
Colville School Board voted this afternoon to rescind their decision to make mask wearing optional, a day after Kettle Falls came to their decision. According to the Colville School District Superintendent Steve Fisk, violations of the mandate could be from $100 to $7,000 per violation. According to him, the minimum fine potential of $100 per day per violation could be about $153,000. The maximum could be over $10 million. Also during the meeting, the board accepted the resignation of Superintendent Fisk, who is stepping down for professional and personal reasons. Paul McCartney tickets sold out in just 30 minutes today. This will be the first stop on his U.S. tour, meaning Spokane fans get to see him before anyone else in the world. Tickets were available online, but some locals just could not take that chance. They started to line up outside the arena early this morning to make sure they got their spot. McCartney brings his Got Back tour to the Spokane Arena on April 28th. Northern Quest Resort and Casino announced today rapper Flo Rida and country music star Jon Pardi are joining the 11th annual Pepsi Outdoor Summer lineup. Flo Rida and rapper T.I. will play at Northern Quest on June 23rd, while Jon Pardi will take the stage on July 24th. Tickets go on sale next Friday, March 4th at 10 in the morning. Tickets for the Flo Rida show will be between $59 up to $99, while prices for the Jon Pardi show will be between $50 to $109. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just text the word night to 509-448-2000. We'll send them right to your phone. Big news from the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention on masks. They're changing their metrics for when masks are recommended indoors. This comes as the number of new COVID-19 infections dropped 65% in the past 2 weeks. Also, recognizing the nation's exhausted by the pandemic and all of the restrictions, the Biden administration is telling most Americans they can start leaving their face masks at home. The CDC now says it'll now determine when face masks are recommended based on COVID-19 case counts, hospitalizations, and hospital capacity. And today, President Biden nominated federal appeals court judge Ketanji Brown Jackson to replace retiring Justice Stephen Breyer on the Supreme Court. She's the first black woman chosen to serve the nation's highest court. She must now go through the confirmation process before stepping into the role. Don't go to bed just yet. Tonight, coming up, we'll be breaking down the latest on the crisis in Ukraine and hear from a WSU athlete who's watching the invasion of her home country. We'll be back in just 90 seconds.